Hello.
Yeah, so Foundation, Season 2, Episode 8. Yeah, no, I'm doing good. You?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad, thank you. Not too bad. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fucking good episode.
It was good that you swore in the first 15 seconds then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. But there's no other way. Well, I could have said it was a great, but it doesn't really cover it. Do you know what I mean?
It doesn't.
I think it was perfect. Right. Really good episode.
Yeah. 32 seconds now, so you can swear as much as you like.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
So, yeah, The Last Empress. The Last Empress, and Rose sort of mooching about, being a bit nosy in Demoiselles' room. Yeah.
Sneaking about in her shit, yeah.
And she got... I thought having a go at the harp was a bit daft, but anyway.
Did she have a go at the harp? I didn't see that.
Oh, she just did one string, but I thought if that, yeah.
Dawn.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but anyway, what's his face? Dusk finds her, and they're kind of in love, aren't they?
They've got a bit of a thing going on, haven't they, and stuff? Because they had some relationship before, but it was pretty much like master and slave sort of shit.
Yeah.
Or at least that's sort of what it was implied. But she seems to be sort of like, although she doesn't, I don't know, it's weird because you kind of think that she must really hate him, but she kind of doesn't really act that way. She kind of, not that she likes him or loves him or anything, but she seems sort of like slightly sympathetic towards him, maybe. I don't know. Or maybe it's purely self-interest, probably, but.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but I mean, she's not as young as she was when she was so I think over time you just sort of, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But anyway, they seem to they seem to have a fairly equal relationship now. They seem to be both into it. Anyway, he says, "What the fuck are you doing?" And she says, "Well, Seraph is in danger, and I just wanted to figure out. I don't trust Demoiselle, and I've had all my memories all this time because we've got the technology now to restore memories."
That was an important point, I suppose. Cloud Dominion, whoever they are.
Yeah. And then, so she was sort of questioning him about Demoiselle, and he gets the arsehole straight away. And he starts repeating his phrase, like he's been programmed.
She will always be here, as she has always been.
Yeah.
And he's like, kind of
start like, what the fuck's the matter with you?
Yeah, old man.
Old man.
Yeah. Are you eating enough fibre, Grandad?
Yeah, and I don't even think he'd realised it. And even the initial sort of, he's been programmed, if someone questions Demoiselle, he gets really fucking angry, and then he says the phrase.
Yeah.
So that's all been programmed into him. And then they sort of have a little look around. Yeah, go on. So I think maybe why. Go on.
No, I was just going to say we don't, know when that happened. Sort of like when he got reprogrammed. We know that someone fucked with them, like in the previous generation. Someone had been mucking around, so they weren't pure identical copies, and that there was some evidence that people had been mucking with their memories, but they couldn't. So that was addressed earlier this season, I think, but they never quite figured out why. I mean, we suspected it was Demoiselle straight away.
Yeah. Well, she's only on with access.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but so we don't, so we're not sure whether. I mean, it's weird because it was a bit ambiguous there whether they were reprogrammed like at the beginning of the genetic dynasty, so after Cleon the First, are all the subsequent ones been screwed with, or did it just happen like after the previous generation? Because we had Empire, Dawn, and Dusk, they were all fucking totally different people. They were like almost identical in sort of manner and quite horrible. and then this
Well,
one's
yeah,
a bit more sort of human.
and we've both been complaining about how Day's been acting because he's not
Yeah,
himself. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
He's normally he's like, yeah,
He's
let's
picked
murder
up a bit, hasn't he?
everybody.
Yeah.
He has picked up a
He's
little
sort of
bit,
become a bit more. Yeah.
but he's made a funny decision in this episode, which I thought,
Hmm.
that's daft what you've just done. But anyway, we'll go to that. So he's obviously Dusk has been programmed because that's not normal to be, even
Yeah.
his like angry reaction was a bit over the top for someone saying, I think Demoiselle's a bit, dodgy. He immediately
Yeah.
went to a defence and anger straight away, and then he started repeating that same line. Anyway, but Rue says to him, "What the fuck's up with you? Do you know what I mean? You sound programmed, And
Hmm.
he kind of thinks about it and goes, "Yeah, I haven't even really thought about it. I've been saying this stuff, but I've never really thought about, what I've been, these phrases that we've all got, and it's the whole lives
Yeah.
are so regimented and." Um, God, what's the word? Ceremonies.
No.
It's all like ceremonies and
Yeah.
everything sort of like laid out in a certain way, the way they eat, the way they speak, the phrases they have when they die. And then they've got a bunch of phrases to say when they let Night die. There's a bunch of phrases
Yeah.
then. There's a bunch of phrases that says we are, three of us together as one sort of thing. So this is all very ceremonial, and
Yeah. It's weird. It's kind of happening to all three of them as well.
yeah,
So you've got so Dawn has sort of, become sort of infatuated with Sarah.
yeah,
Like he doesn't seem to suspect that she's out to, like she's got ulterior motives, which is kind of daft. Dusk has become more human, much more like an old man,
yeah.
like because like I think a previous incarnation of him would have killed that woman, Rue, straight away. Once he found out she still had her memories, he wouldn't be tagging along with her or dragging her along. He would
Yeah,
have gone on his
right.
own. So he's become much
Yeah,
more human, much more like an old guy, And Day obviously is sort of different, although he's still got that evilness in him because the last few episodes has been much more sort
it's
of
just
horrible.
ruthlessness. I mean, like in the first season, he was
Yeah,
completely ruthless. I didn't even think about it,
yeah.
But now he's kind of
This
questioning
one as well.
himself.
But he's questioning himself, yeah. But he's also sort of like enjoying himself. He's doing a lot of gloating, like
That's true.
it's like the power, the sort of powers come back to him. But he does seem a bit more human. There's a few things he says in this episode that are sort of, you know, uh, make him much more sort of human. So if it's happening to all three of them, that's got to be by design, you
Yeah,
know.
right.
So we sort of think we know what's going on there. So it's weird there. They're sitting, aren't they, in Demoiselle's room? God knows
Yeah.
where Demoiselle is. Like she ain't got cameras or anything. But
Mm.
they see like a box, don't they? It's like a jewelry box, and he
Right,
goes, "I
right.
recognise that symbol." Um,
Yeah. 8
and
planets,
so,
and it's our actual solar system because
yeah, well, it's interesting because I looked at that and gave that a freeze frame. So yeah, it is
yeah.
definitely our solar system, except that Saturn doesn't have any rings, and
Right.
Venus and Mercury are both blue, which would imply
Mm.
they were possibly inhabited in that whatever time that thing was made. So I thought that was, I don't know if that's relevant to anything. I just thought it was quite interesting. So it's like a solar system, but it's not quite ours because Mercury and Venus are like way too hot. They're normally depicted as
So maybe
brown or red.
it's an older version of the solar system where the sun's sort of died down a little bit to allow Venus and Mercury to be
Possibly, yeah.
habitable
Or they've
because Mercury's on
or they've
fire
just
right
got
now.
it. Yeah, or they've got the technology to do it. It's just like
No,
I
I
don't
mean
know whether that
it's
was
just
the
too
thing or
near to the
not.
fucking
Yeah.
sun. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
you could kind of explain Saturn not having its rings because once we have the technology, we'll probably mine them. You know what I mean? For minerals and
Right, so
mostly
it
ice.
lose
But it's like
right.
So maybe the
Yeah.
rings aren't there at that point in the future. But I still thought it was interesting. I think like overall, I wasn't quite sure what this universe was set in. You kind of think it's humans, but they never really talk about Earth or anything like that.
No. In the first season, Harry said that we're humans, but we don't know where we're from. So they don't know about the solar system.
Does he?
They've expanded.
Oh.
Yeah, well, I might have to watch it again, but I think he says that they didn't. I might get mixed up with another fucking sci-fi program. I don't know. But I thought Harry had said, we're all human and we don't know our origin. They said something about the planet Earth, but the fact they've got an actual sort of picture description of the solar system.
Up on the wall. Yeah. Up on the fucking wall.
But I don't know if that, that knowledge has been lost. Yeah, it's a bit weird, but I might have got that wrong. But that's what I thought. They're all humans, a species of humans, spaces and all the rest of it. And they're all humans on all the different planets. There's no aliens, so to speak. And I thought
but I suppose it's the first time it was specifically stated, it was sort of our solar. Obviously, they're not in our solar system, but they're. But it's obviously significant.
Something else, but I'm pretty sure
very
he
possibly
said that.
Chicken.
Yeah, because it sounds a bit Battlestar Galactica, doesn't it? Anyway, but that's what I thought.
It does. It does.
I'll come back to that. I'll make a note and come back to that next time. But anyway, I'm just rabbiting on. So she talks about restoring memories, and they go to the tapestry sort of thing, the mural, and he talks about the chroma moving. And initially, I thought, there's a shadow master there looking at it to set it off, because apparently, when you look at it, the chroma moves around. That nice sort of effect it's got, because it's activated by the viewer. But it turns out I got that wrong.
Because it was moving while he was looking at it, but just not. I think not that particular portion, wasn't it? Because everything around it was that because there's a depiction of a robot, weird sort of looking robot, and that was all moving. I noticed that when the second time I watched it, I was like, "What does he mean it's not moving?" But I think the actual symbols weren't moving. Or something like that.
Oh, right. Okay, but we find out why later anyway. So great episode. I loved it.
It is a good episode.
Great. Yeah. And so then we go to Gale.
Yeah, we go to Ignis after this.
Yeah, so the horrible woman is having a chat with Gale and saying where's Salva, and she knew that Harry died.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
And didn't do anything about it. But then her head's been fucked with. Her head's been fucked with. I mean, she couldn't have done anything because she's locked up in a cave, isn't she?
Possibly. I mean, we were talking about this the last one, weren't we? About how much of Gale is actually real.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not very clear. Like, has she been in that? So they chuck her in some sort of oubliette, don't they? Like a fucking hole in the ground. But I don't know how long she's been there. It doesn't seem like she's been there the whole time since they got her there. So I don't know. It didn't make a lot of sense. Like, why didn't she say anything? You know what I mean?
It could have happened when they first sat down.
It could have done, but
we don't know.
Yeah, that was a bit confusing. I couldn't quite figure that out. But we get from Tellem that she's sort of showing her true colours. So she's just a fucking mentalist.
Yeah, I don't think I could dislike her anymore.
No, so she's basically dying.
Yeah. And later on we find out she's fucking stealing bodies now as well. Like, she's been going around for fucking hundreds of years stealing young kids' body. Yeah.
That's the whole point of why she wants Gale. Is she just like, because Gale can see into the future, She just wants her power. So that's the whole thing about it. She did say something when she's speaking to Gail that she's on an accelerated timeline here, so she doesn't have time to muck about. So I wasn't quite sure what she means by that.
I think she's got like lung cancer or something. She keeps coughing up blood and that.
Oh, so, of course, yeah, that would be it. So she's dying or something like that. Yeah, but she's proper horrible. But yeah, so we sort of see her true colours, but she also says that she could hear Gail's voice across the stars. You know, and that she put the idea into Gail's head to leave Synax, whatever it's called.
I think that's bullshit. I think the Synax thing.
I didn't quite.
I think she's, you know, trying to say I'm that powerful and you should like submit, sort of thing, because you know, Gail, she did all that shit on her own. I think it's only when they got near, you know, sort of nearish. Because, I mean, you'd have to put your brain out into the entire universe on the hopes of picking something up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's just
not very clear.
That's not reasonable. But if Gail's been travelling about in a ship, which she had after Synax, then she went to Trantor, then she went to the New Foundation, that'd be more likely, I think. And she's had a lot of painful things happen to her, so that would be more likely she'd like scream at the universe, sort of thing. I don't know how it works, but
yeah, it didn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So she realizes she's stuck in a oubliette, whatever.
Yeah.
And that Tellem is like even more batshit than we considered. And then. We then go to, we see on Terminus, and everyone in Terminus is in the control room having a drink because the execution's about to come on TV, you know?
Yeah, that guy's well knocking him back.
Let's just sit around. I know, yeah. It's like, I know, let's have a party and watch the execution.
Yeah. Well, he had to go at Polly, didn't he, for getting high and shit. So I just thought, that's a bit...
Yeah, I thought about that. He's proper knocking him back. But like, it's a funny thing to do, you know? Like all the commanders, like all just drinking in the control room, like watching their daughter get executed. Fucking weird.
When I thought about that initially, I thought they were getting ready for war, because I even sort of went with it. I thought, like, you know, because sailors back in the day used to drink rum. They had a daily allowance of like half a bottle of rum or something. I can't remember what it was. It was like something ridiculous. You'd be arseholed the whole time, basically, when you're on a ship.
Yeah.
It's not the safest thing, you know. But
no.
But I thought it might have been something to do with that. But no, it turns out it's an execution party. So Polly and Constance,
with your own daughter.
Yeah, you were right about the two fathers. That confused me, but she has got two fathers, hasn't she?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't very well done, because one of the guy, I think his name is Peter, believe it or not, doesn't actually do anything, does he? Apparently, he runs a bar or something. I don't know.
I suppose the clue's in the name there, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. But not any other guy's name, Cermak. I don't know.
No.
But I mean, they neither of those two have done that much, but you know, one of them gets a bit of airtime in this one. But yeah, they're basically watching the execution. Like, oh, look, there she is. Hey, that's our daughter. Brilliant. Look, there's Empire. So then we sort of switch back to sort of Empire's view of this whole thing, and so poor old Polly and poor old Constance are on their knees, shitting it.
Yeah, they're really good acting in that.
They were good in this one, and like, and Empire's just like, all right, it's me. I've got this horrible thing, which is like the collar of, I can't remember what he said.
Yeah, proper medieval bullshit that was, wasn't it?
Yeah,
and he was wearing old armour, because in the first season he had this like bright blue sort of almost looked like a bit, you know, like the motorbike colours on a sports bike.
Yeah.
Kind of looked like that. But this one looked old and battered, and I don't know if that's just an affectation. Yeah.
I don't know, actually, because he did look a bit, I noticed actually, because I was thinking, oh, his hair looks nice, but it was in a kind of tousled sort of way.
Tousled.
You know, he looked like, Yeah, he kind of looked kind of a bit cash, you know. And I did notice that as well, but I wasn't sure the significance of it. I wasn't sure if it was just fraying at the seams a little bit. But like he was proper enjoying himself,
Oh yeah,
speaking into the
Cora
camera and
Typhon.
everything. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, he
was looking
was.
at the camera and everything. I'm going to execute your daughter now.
Yeah, we're going to send a fleet to Terminus. You're fucked.
So, but it's weird because like lots of people are watching. So we see the people on the planet. I can't remember what the planet was. Of the sort of like people who've gone, you know, back to almost medieval thing. They're watching it. We also see
burning books.
Yeah, those buggers. We also see sort of like Bel Rios and the fleet are watching it, and of course, you know, so Bel Rios has only seen this a couple of times, but I think it's sort of important both times why we see them. They're all watching it. The Terminus are still necking drinks, but then Demoiselle. Oh no! So I think just before that, he's like, I'll get the Empress, my future Empress, to choose which one to die first. And she kind of looks a bit aggrieved by that. You know, she's a bit of an inconsistent character.
She is a little bit.
Cause I would have thought she would have gone, just kill one of them. It doesn't matter to her who she
kills off. She doesn't even know these people.
No, exactly.
She could have easily said,
she seemed a bit sort of, she was a bit sort of like upset, you know, almost looking a bit upset. Sort of shit. But then in other times she's just like, you know, the Empire has spoken, you know, like totally out of turn, and everyone's like, ooh, fuck do you think you are?
I would have thought
got the job yet, darling.
You know, let's toss a coin or something, or the girl goes first, or whatever, you know, beauty before age, or whatever that is, or age before beauty. But
she didn't. She didn't get a chance in the end.
Yeah. I kind of thought we see Demoiselle. Mallow. Oh, go on, sorry. Go on.
Well, no, what about Homer Mallow?
Well, I kind of thought he was going to turn up.
Oh, really? I wasn't sure what was going to happen. Yeah.
I wasn't sure, but I thought... but then it kept going on, and I thought, oh, maybe I'm wrong. And then he does. But you're going about Demoiselle.
Yeah, so just before that, we see Demoiselle doing her thing, touching her hand. Touching her bracelet, whatever. And then she realises something's up. She goes, Empire! Just before there's a big explosion sort of thing, implosion, and the whisper ship turns up, and of course it's Homer Mallow on his own, like in the middle of Trantor, and kills a load of people, and then there's just sort of carnage and shit for a bit, and then there's only like 2 or 3 guards left, which I thought, I mean, their escape from this is a bit convenient. I thought maybe that's part of the plot. But so basically, he manages to rescue Constance, but Polly gets taken.
Yeah, that's a shame.
And the Empire is protected from the blast by Demoiselle.
Yeah,
and then he's like, get the hell off me. Yeah, get off. But then he gets, like his aura's been damaged or something, right? They don't seem that good. I mean, if it can be damaged by blast, then what's the point anyway?
Yeah, but then the spaceship just sort of like appeared out of nothing, you know, through time, space. You know, they literally jumped into their atmosphere. So that's bound to cause a few ruffled feathers, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so it knocked them, and I knocked quite a few of them. I don't know. I kind of bought it. I kind of bought it. Although him being on his own with a bunch of soldiers shooting at him, soldiers shooting. And I just
there wasn't enough soldiers.
I bought it, and the fact that we couldn't get hold of Polly, and then who turns up? BEKI.
BEKI turns up. Yeah, gives the Empire right old.
Chomps his shoulder.
Run for his money. Chomps him. He looks proper scared, screams and everything. That would have been good if that was telephased, but
there was a really good. Like, because when I go through this to do the sort of to do the thumbnails, there was a great one with him just going like utter horror on his face, with BEKI sort of easily sort of diving all over the place and easily catching up with him and grabbing him by the shoulder and then throwing him up in the air. Yeah, she's
he's just
fantastic.
like, fuck this.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah,
Becky gives him like, you know, I mean, I could have ended it right there.
I actually thought she was going to kill him. I thought, oh, what a great moment, because they're just to count another one anyway, wouldn't they? So it's not,
exactly. But
it's not that much of a big deal if he dies, but that would have been great. But
it would, if it would have been televised as well, all of that, if the broadcast hadn't stopped, because basically the broadcast stopped at that point. Like that would everyone had just been like, you know, let's have another drink. You know, is my daughter okay? Doesn't matter. It's Becky. Look, it's Becky. So, but then like he's like, stop them. You know, so Hober Mallow grabs Constance, gets back on the ship. Becky's dead. Becky gets killed. It's quite sad. But like, he's like, Empire's like, stop them. And there's like two guards going, doo, doo, doo. They're in the middle of Trantor, for fuck's sake, in the Imperial fucking palace or whatever. Right. And then it just like, it doesn't jump away either. I don't think they can jump unless they're asleep, can't they? Sort of thing. So like, he has to literally fly away, and he just flies out of Trantor's atmosphere, and there's no ships. He just gets away, and then he jumps, which I thought was weird. Because like there's no one there to protect them, and then when he gets to fucking Terminus later on, there's like fucking 300 ships there, and they're like, oh shit, we can't move, otherwise we'll be sitting ducks. Like,
well, the Emperor before the execution did say that he'd sent a fleet to Terminus.
Yeah,
so maybe he's concentrating all of that stuff on Terminus rather than. I mean, they didn't expect it. I mean, I completely bought it. I did buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I bought him getting in, but I didn't buy him getting out unless he could jump out. But he didn't. He just literally just flew out. I didn't quite buy that. But unless that's part of it, you know, it's like why were there no defences like Demoiselle? You know, you know, I think there's more going on, even more going on with Demoiselle, possibly. That's my impression. It's like that's just no way they would have not a single fucking ship.
Oh, the other things that happened was Dawn rescues Sarif, and Rue notices that they seemed, you know, fairly close. Day and Demoiselle, and he's just like, oh, just fuck off with your protection. And when Becky died, I was like, no. I always really hoped like she had wings and would fly down to the city or something. But yeah, it's a shame.
Just fly off. Or maybe say something, maybe speak just before it dies, you know. It has been a great honour. You know? Slow clap from Constance.
No, if you'd done that would be cringe, but I'm
glad that didn't happen. But
no,
But so that's kind of weird. So they basically managed.
Sorry, just keep interrupting. Well, there could be a spin-off of Becky meeting a hello, young human. I am a dragon.
Yeah.
You know,
a crew of teenage rebels.
Yeah.
Yeah. To fight their own missions against patriarchy.
Yeah, it'd be fantastic. Exactly. No, it wouldn't. It'd be terrible. But I would have liked to see her lived. Yeah. And I thought, why don't they put some armour on her? If you're going to take to a fucking... put her in
she's kind of armoured and shit anyway, isn't it? You know? It's kind of
but I mean...
To be honest, it's a bit weird having something like that on the ship anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it seems rather ferocious.
Yeah.
Pet, you know? But yeah, we went with it. We like Becky. So we have, there's a moment sort of when they're all kind of regrouped, you know, in a safe place in the Imperial Palace, and, you know, they're all a bit pissed off. Dusk is doing his usual shit. This is war. We need to fight back straight away.
Yeah, but he's right.
And then Day is
Dusk
right. And then,
right.
But then Day says, "No, I'd rather talk to them. I'm off to Terminus." And they're all like, "What?" Everyone's just like, "What the fuck?"
Well, exactly. This is why I think he's been programmed as well. That is not a Day decision.
Yeah,
like normally
it's weird because he says something. This is one of the things I think is very important about his character in this. He says, "I do not fear change," which is kind of you know, is weird. I think, you know, like it's unlike him to say that. Yeah, I do not fear change, and this is the whole reason he's getting married and wants to have kids and stuff. You know, we still don't know where that's come from, but like, you know,
I think it's been
kill him,
programmed in it, because even when he was saying it, he didn't look that convinced himself. But you know, he played the part, sort of thing. And Damosel goes, "Oh, don't do that," sort of thing, but to make it look like she disagrees with it.
And then,
I think
Sarah
it's all her.
steps up. Yeah, Sarah steps up straight away. Like again, you know, she's a bit inconsistent. She just goes, "Empire has spoken," and everyone's like, "Whoa, all right, throwing your weight around already." And then but obviously she wants him to go so that she can get it on with the other guy. So that, you know, that sort of shit. So I think I think straight after that, there's like a moment between Rue and Seraph, and Rue's like, I know what you're up to. You know, she says you're either sleeping with him or you're about to.
Oh, sorry.
You know, she says,
the other thing I noticed about that, you know, when Seraph comes up to him and says, you know, Empire's spoken, snoggy snog, right? He looks over Seraph's shoulder and he says to Damosel, "I'll give you a planet as a wedding gift." Kind of. Was that?
Who does he say that to?
Well, when he's snogging,
he says that to the Empress, doesn't it? Yeah.
Well, he says it to the Empress, but he's looking at Damosel when he says it.
Right. Oh, right. I didn't know.
So I don't know if that's a thing. Seraph pulls rank on Rue as well, because Rue's quite sensibly saying, "What are you doing, having sex with Dawn?" And she just goes, "You're just a
I've written down
servant."
stroppy.
I've
written down stroppy because she goes, "I don't fucking care."
Ruse knows the score. She knows what. I mean, it's fucking dangerous. Whatever. It's not smart, the wise choice of action anyway. In any scenario, that is not the wise choice of action. And
and if she doesn't know what. Well, if she doesn't know what Seraph is up to all the time, Sorry,
well, I mean, she just says to her, "You're a servant, I'm the Empress, so shut the fuck up." So you were saying,
so she doesn't seem to know what she's taught, what is going on. So they're not really in it together. Like she's not really much of a confidant, confidant. Like, so, because she's just making all these things. But she's like, "You love day," and she's like, "You love dusk." And she says, "You're going to ruin everything." And she goes, "I don't fucking care."
That's kind of like, that would be normal, So, but so she just basically pulls rank on her and says, "I'm not going to listen to you. I'm the Empress, blah, blah, blah." So, what did you have next? Yeah.
So they go back to Ignis, and then we see good old Salvor. She's also been trapped, but we thought she was going to die at the end of the last episode. Well, we knew she wasn't going to die.
Yeah, so that's,
she's in her own oubliette sort of thing. The little kid comes to visit her for what reason we don't really know. He's just a bit of a brat. He says, "What?"
She gives food. He's dropping off food.
Oh, he drops off food, but he's chatting with her, isn't he?
Yeah.
And he says, "Sorry, Harry died, but he was insufficient," which is a fucking weird thing to say. And she's like, "No, he ain't." So Savil's trying to figure things out, and this is something that I got sort of a bit confused about. So he basically tells her, the little kid, that these dishes are kind of blocking your, psychic powers, whatever ones she has. She has this sort of coin flipping thing, doesn't she? See the past or something. Not that she really uses that power that much, apart from the coin thing.
Well, if she can flip a coin and guess what it's going to be, that's kind of future as well, isn't it? I mean, not as strong as Gales, but obviously she's got that capability.
She doesn't use it that much, sort of practically or something. But that's the reason why she's in there as well, presumably. But then she's like, I just wish I knew how these things worked. And then she's like, "Oh, Harry would know." But Harry's dead. But then she's like, "Oh, but I can speak to the other Harry because I've got the Radiant."
Yeah.
And I was like, where did she get that from? Because I was a bit... This is something that I kind of think I missed from the first series. because I was like, how has she got the radiant? So in a previous episode, and they even flash back to it, Harry says, find the radiant on the beggar. It won't look what it normally looks like or something. But we never see her go and get it. No. I kind of assumed that she hadn't got it because then the person who looked like Harry, pretending to be Harry, took the ship. I didn't think she went there and got it. But she does have it in her jacket. Like, I just didn't really understand that. And it's kind of like all flattened out or something. And weirdly, because I don't remember her taking it from Terminus either. So then I'm getting a bit confused at this point. Where are the two radiants? Where's the one? Which I thought that there was one on. Oh, I don't know. It's really confusing because I think the vault on Terminus is the radiant, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whereas the one Gale's got is like one you can hold in your hand.
Well, it's the same thing. It's quantum entangled, so it's the same object in two different spaces. So, but the other Harry, the one that died, he said that he'd messed with the other Harry's memories, and he could spy on the other one through the quantum entanglement, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know. I didn't know she had it in a coat. Obviously, that was new. But I think, did he say to Gale or Salva, "Can you hide this and don't tell me where it is"?
He said that to Gale.
Gale, right? So then Salva had it, but maybe Salva went and got it off screen, sort of thing. Put it in a coat, because I think when that lady came out with the barnacle, Tellem came out with the barnacle and then threw water in Gale's face. I'm pretty sure it was on the table at that point. The prime radiant. Yeah, I'd have to look at it again. But anyway,
I don't know. I was a bit confused by that because I mean, it's weird because at the beginning of this series, I also, oh no, now I'm thinking back. Salva brought the prime radiance at Gale, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I was just a little bit confused by why she just had it on her. Like, because I thought that the reason they'd killed Harry is to get the radiant. At least that's what he thought. Yeah. And then they took the ship, and because we never saw her. But yeah, so I don't know, a little bit of a plot hole there, possibly. Doesn't matter. She's got the radiant. And so she goes, oh, she knows it's a quantum entanglement thing. So she stares into it, and all of a sudden she's in like a fucking 1980s Top of the Pops Ultravox music video set with Harry's at his desk. There's all these like sort of onyx columns.
Right.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Yeah, it's really proper, like a... I was expecting that to happen. It was really cool, like Gary Newman or something. And Gary's just sitting there like, just doing whatever he's doing. And he's thought, what the hell are you doing here? He didn't even realise it was possible because he didn't realise there was another radiant. Or maybe he did, but like he didn't realise.
Well, he's been messed with, isn't he, by the other Harry? So,
but even just her turning up, kind of like he figures, right? Well, if you're here, there must be another one. Why didn't I know about it? I must be, someone's messing.
He kind of figures it out.
Man. Yeah. Quite quickly, he sort of figures that all out.
Well, he's clever.
That's all right. So.
Yeah.
He is very smart. He even figures out, but if they don't want me to know the truth, why? If I'm here to, further the foundation. Yeah, exactly. And he's like, oh, there must be another one. We're the control group. He goes, fuck, I'm the left hand. Which is kind of funny. There's a moment there, which is kind of cool. But she's basically like, yeah, whatever. I'm kind of, stuck in a fucking hole in the ground. I need your help.
Yeah, chop.
So yeah. So that's kind of cool, but it's weird, like poor old Harry, And then he realises he's not the only copy. So all of a sudden, all along, he thought he was the only one, which is strange. But went with it. It's all good. We then sort of we then see we get back to Terminus, and we see Cermak, one of Constance's dads. He's still not necking the blue shit back, and like this time he's sitting outside.
Yeah, he's had half a bottle by now. He's quite wasted.
He's absolutely slaughtered. It kind of looked like early morning as well. So he's probably been up all night. You know what I mean? Like he hasn't got anything else.
Well, he has
do.
Just seen his.
You know what I mean?
Well, he thought his daughter might have got her head chopped off. So I suppose it's allowed. Yeah.
No, it
Yeah.
is allowed, yeah, and it was kind
Yeah.
of cool. And like he's talking to the vault, and then Harry just appears, and he says you deserve to be to heard and stuff like that. So he basically just says he doesn't know what the fuck's happening, and Harry doesn't really have an answer for him, apart from that, people do matter, is what he says, because he sort of accuses him of being just too detached, and it's all about history. And he said, but there's people, and he said, well, history's made by people's memories, so it is important,
Well, all of his calculations are based on decisions and consequences for, from trillions of people. So, yeah, that's why it's so, you can predict the future from it, because we've got patterns of behaviour, and we've got multiple patterns of behaviour, but overall you could probably figure out what was going on. It's quite interesting. Yeah.
So I mean that didn't last very long, but I suppose it's interesting. I mean, we'll come to it in a bit, but it is sort of like there's an important weird point. Anyway, next after this we get they're off to the Rubicon, because Empire said earlier, prepare the Rubicon, and I was like, what the hell is that? Turns out that's his personal jump ship full of spaces and shit. And we get Polly and Empire just sitting there in a room together chatting, and I thought this was, and Empire's being a bit gloaty, but like he's kind of quite subdued as well, and he basically, it's something interesting. He says, that Polly says, I'm going to be the first one to see. What did he say about two different viewpoints? The beginning of the Foundation and the end, or so. I can't remember, but Empire sort of empathizes with him. He says, "Me too, from my point of view. Like I've seen it all as well." So it's weird. He's empathizing with Polly in a way, and again, this was the second thing that I thought is kind of making him more human. Like he didn't seem that antagonistic towards Polly. I mean, he's still a cunt,
but I mean, Polly says violence
sort of
is the last refuge of the incompetents, which I thought was a great phrase.
And
the fact that the religion is based on science. It's not just some airy fairy, bloke in the sky, or whatever.
Empire even says about that, when he says, violence is the last refuge or whatever. He says you're probably right there. So again, he's like quite a conciliatory tone with him, which is odd. He just kind of seemed sort of subdued. Again, much more human.
More thoughtful than before. He wouldn't have even entertained that conversation at all.
Exactly. He wouldn't even consider him a person, really. He just would have had him killed.
It does seem odd that they've taken Polly with them, but maybe it's to show Polly that they're going to destroy his planet or something. I don't know. It's a bit of extra cruelty. I don't know, but it seems odd that they took Polly with them. But it
does.
But he's obviously got a part to play, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah. And then I think there's a lot of jumping around in these last sort of few scenes, but we go back to Salvor. Harry comes through the radiant and has a look through the oubliette, and he said, "Oh right, yeah, these are like psychic resonance things. Obviously, we can use them, so you can just take them and sort of resonate them together, and it'll blast a hole in the walls or something." She's like, "Thanks, Harry. See you next time."
Yeah, cheers.
And he sort of nips off. She just climbs up. Not that difficult. With not a lot of difficulty, really. Just climbs up and just takes them to bits, which you think you probably would have tried before. But then maybe most of the people they put down there are children. Maybe, I don't know. But she goes, climbs up there, takes them off, puts them in series, and sort of like gets them all resonating, and blows a hole in the top of the prison.
Lucky she didn't get hit by rocks there. Yeah,
I thought I did notice that the whole thing could have fallen in on her, and that would have been it. They'd never even be able to dig her out. No. Yeah, death. Salvor's over. I don't know what could go wrong with firing a fucking massive gun inside a ditch. I don't know.
Yeah,
we went with it. What happens then? What happens next?
Hope and Constance get it on. and then get caught.
Oh God, yeah. So that was a bit awkward. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she was just like, right, it's time for sex. And he's like, oh, okay. And she's like, take off your trousers. And he's like, oh, okay. Well, no, first of all, she's like, are you afraid of sex? So you're sort of putting a bit of guilt trip on in them. And then he's, yeah, take off your trousers. He's like, oh, okay. So that all happens. That was all a bit weird.
Yeah. Bel Rios.
I mean, they're not even married. I think we should start watching this show. There's going to be sex before marriage in it.
Oh God,
what do you think?
Yeah, the outrage.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's disgusting, really. Yeah, that was a joke as well. You can please comment. I don't care.
Yeah. Fuck!
Yeah,
I forgot to thank everybody for the bloody. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the views. Thank you for the comments. They're all really good. And thank you for the likes. Oh, and thank you for the subscribers. Fuck, I meant to say that at the beginning. Again, I'm fucking shit at this. Anyway, let's get on.
Doesn't matter. We can do it at the end or in the, or something.
Anyway.
But yeah, so while they're having sex or just after they've had sex, luckily we didn't get to see that.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, Bel Rios is there. And he's like, right, you're being boarded, but we're not going to kill you. We'll take you and look after you or something, right? So I think that's important as well. So Bel Rios is only in this twice.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I forgot there was a bit earlier when he saw the broadcast. They were watching the broadcast, and him and his husband are kind of quite chipper about it. They're like, bloody hell, Empire can be touched. He's got a funny accent, that guy. I can't quite place it.
Which one?
He's
what is
Bel Rios?
Oh, do you think? He's
no,
British?
Bel Rios. Yeah, it must be northern or something. He's got a strange accent because sometimes
it's like Leeds or something.
Yeah, like something Leeds, like that. It's a bit weird. But...
yeah, Leeds or Yorkshire, somewhere like that. Yeah,
I noticed that. I wasn't quite sure it was strange because it only comes out a couple of times.
Yeah,
but yeah. So
his boyfriend says, "Look, he can be touched," and that probably puts a seed of hope. I mean, it's always nice to see getting having BEKI run after him and take a massive chomp out of his shoulder and nearly kill him. That's I mean,
but yeah, Bel Rios in that scene, they all seem they're like, wow, look at that. Then they're not like shit. We should probably get back and help, seeing as we're the fucking Empire's army. No. I still don't really know why they're around Terminus and not doing anything. Like, why haven't they invaded or done anything? They just seem to be waiting.
Day wants to be there when Day wants to be there at the front of the army.
But they were already there. I think there's more to this. Honestly, I think that's the reason why they haven't done it. I think there's more to it, and the fact that Mallow got away so easily. Yeah, I just thought there's more to it. I think well, we'll get to that.
The other thing I noticed about this, because the music in it, I love the music in this. You don't notice it most of the time because it's so good. Do you know what I mean? And I just wanted to say that whoever composed the music was absolutely brilliant. Absolutely. Everybody's so good in it. Everyone's so talented.
Yeah.
Everyone brings it, and they're all bringing it, to the fore. It's fantastic. Yeah. But anyway, so we go back to Dusk and Rue, and Dusk is explaining that old Chroma reacts to new Chroma. The stuff in the mural.
Yeah.
And they open a door. It's such a good episode.
Secret door.
Yeah, the secret door in the mural. And I think this is Dusk's best episode. He's actually quite consistent as a character because he would be the one saying, no, we've got to go to fucking war. We've just been, it was an attempted assassination, really, of all three of them, of everybody in the palace. I mean, if he drove that, if Hope and Mallow had decided to, materialise in the palace, he could have destroyed the whole fucking palace. Do you know what I mean? He really could have done. So that they got far too close for comfort. And I think Dusk was right to say, no, we've got to fucking murder them all. But also he's on this on the case with why has my memories been deleted and why don't I have as much memories as Cleon the First? And Moo's obviously giving him some options. He can either have his memories stored, but then he figures out about the crime and he finds the door. It's brilliant. Yeah, I think it's a good episode.
So maybe that's what we'll see.
Yeah.
What we might see next is maybe him getting his memories restored. So yeah, they go on a bit of a wander, which is kind of cool. Then Seraph and Dawn have a little moment. They're sneaking around again, and they have like a more shagging, more sex, without being married. It's fine, no judgment.
You fucking Puritan.
I am joking.
Seriously, man. Yeah.
I'm only joking. It's just a joking. Just want to see if people agree. And yeah, absolutely, they should all be shot, sort of thing. But so yeah, more shagging, and he, you know, he brings out that sort of hand blender, which is a medical device. Like, whereas everyone else is using nanobots, he's using like a hand whisk and like buries it in his fucking abdomen.
How realistic is it that a man would use that on himself to have sex with a lady, or they just say, "Yeah, I've used it, used it earlier."
It's just to have children. The bit is to have children. I mean, the whole point is that he's kind of not sterile, isn't he? Or he can't, and it kind of creates new vas deferens or something like that. But like, it seems a bit, you know, like a whisk. I mean, it seems a bit weird. You think they would just inject him with some nanobots and it'd be done in a couple of hours, mate. But but then he's fine straight away because he's got nanobots, you know, stuff like that. So, you know, fucking hell, he's got it bad, that one. So yeah, they're sort of.
I did wonder about him last time, thinking, has he gone for this? But he has, obviously. So
it looks like he has. Probably got it bad. And then we're sort of back to Tellem, and we come up to the sort of final sort of act, which kind of jumps about. So she's horrible. She's like, I'm going to basically steal your body.
It's a good part for an actress, isn't it? She's thoroughly evil. Yeah. Absolutely. Like she's thoroughly evil.
So I thought, you know, she's taking her body just because she wants to be young, but there's more to it. It turns out it's because she can absorb people's powers, presumably only people who are telepathic. So, like, she's basically been going around taking telepaths' bodies. So I still don't know why they're all following her. But she wants to be able to see into the future.
She's got them all under her thrall, hasn't she?
Yeah, it's bloody ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, they should all just burn her.
Well, I think because she's been taking over young kids, she's been taking over kids who are telepathic and whatnot, got psychic abilities. And so she's been doing this for hundreds of years, and each time she gets stronger. So it is sort of reasonable to believe that she could hold 20, 30 people under a thrall like that.
Yeah.
You know,
it doesn't really explain how long she's been doing it. Yeah.
She's got centuries of, you know, experience. She would be very powerful and truly evil.
I mean, like I say, it doesn't really sort of say how long, because she kind of implies that she's only done it twice, you know. But like,
I don't know.
I don't know, because then she's just but again, it doesn't say, so we don't know her origin. We know nothing about her really. So, and they're using the fucking whistles.
I don't know, it's the panpipes. Like I've written fucking panpipes, choral. But then it turns out there's a reason.
Panpipes. So it's like a resonance doodah jig.
So that's why they do it.
But it was like an old device, but then they broke it into parts and turned them into pipes. Doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever. But whatever. Get the kids to play the pipes. And then so while this is all happening, Gail's doing that fucking hell sort of thing. We know that Savil's escaped, but you know, we don't know where she is.
Apocalypse, isn't it? X-Men Apocalypse. Yeah, that's what he does. He puts his you know, the one, he's blue, he's Egyptian, and then
right.
Did you ever see that movie? No,
I think so, but I think it was bad.
It's it's terrible. But he basically puts his consciousness into another body, and he absorbs their powers. So he's got quite a few different powers, like he has psychic stuff.
That whole
He does a lot of
trope,
weird
stealing
shit
other
that he
people's
only seems to
powers.
use once.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's a terrible movie, but it's the same sort of concept. Like a body vampire. Yeah. And then sorry, you
So
going on.
while that's so while that's all happening, Gail's doing this leave me alone sort of thing. Empire is getting ready to go into stasis for the jump, and he's like, I think he did this before. He's just like, I wonder what he's talking to Demoiselle, but he's kind of, and also there's lots of different spaces as well, so reinforcing our theory that they're not all of one race or whatever. But he's like talking to Demoiselle, but he's kind of maybe talking to the spaces as well. He's like, I wonder what you experience during the jump that we will never know, and all this kind of stuff. And Demoiselle's just sort of,
I thought she was going to kill him at one point.
Yeah,
she had a look like, I'm going to fuck you up, look.
I thought, I think we mentioned this before, that I thought that maybe the spacers were only existed because of Demoiselle, like they were almost like her secret fucking weapon. And like, of course, now we know that she's going to be awake during this whole thing with the spacers. So I don't know if they're having secret shit while everyone's asleep. Wouldn't surprise me at all. So yeah, she's all looking a bit sinister. She doesn't say much in this episode, but like, she's popping up a lot, all completely reinforcing everything that we thought all along.
I mean, she might not be malignant. She might just be trying to change the Empire of the Bear. Or the other thought I had was that she's fed up with being a fucking slave and she wants the Empire to end so that she can get around to programming. You know what I mean? So if the Empire's gone, then she doesn't have to serve him anymore.
I think that's probably what they're going to do. But I kind of think that's a bit like, I hope they don't do it like that.
Well, it's too simple.
Just sort of like, I want to be free. Yeah, it's just a bit,
simplistic.
Like, life's more complicated. Yeah. So, I'm hoping there's more to it. And to be honest, they've kind of delivered on everything in this series. So I hope it will be. And then basically, like, we see Dusk and Nosey Rue in this like room, which has got like an altar in it, but it's also got the three circles, isn't it, on the wall? I think I saw that. I could have imagined it, of the mother and the crone and the whatever from
right. No, I didn't notice that.
And I might have imagined it. I thought I saw it somewhere else.
I've got to watch it again.
I can't remember where.
I've seen it twice already, but it's really good. Yeah.
And then Cleon turns up. Cleon the First, hello, it's me, sort of shit like that. He doesn't say that, but he says, welcome. He's almost like a dungeon master. You have made it this far, traveler. And he says, yeah, this is a prison. And Dusk is like, for who? And he doesn't answer. But then they kind of come to their conclusion. It's like, it's got to be Demoiselle. And Rue is like, yeah, Demoiselle is the true heir to Cleon. And then we just see Demoiselle at the end, sort of like that.
Yeah, because at first they say who programmed Demoiselle.
Yeah.
It turns out, they said Dusk is programmed. Who programmed Demoiselle? Because she's obviously programmed Dusk. And when they go down, it's Cleon. And they thought that Demoiselle serves only Cleon, but it might actually be that Cleon the First served Demoiselle. I mean, who the fuck knows? It was thousands of years ago, right?
I don't know. It seems like sort of big Cleon, original Cleon, had some sort of, maybe Demoiselle was his sort of like backup plan in case Empire went to shit. And
it's
like,
totally
he's like, if they start doing crazy shit, then you have my permission to fuck with their minds, sort of thing. So he might still be like that. But I mean, again, we still don't really know. But I mean, it's what we suspected, is that she's pulling all the strings. It's just how many. I mean, I think she's in league with the spacers. I think they're all her creation.
That's interesting.
I think they are. I think they're her secret sort of fucking army, sort of thing. Personally,
yeah.
I don't know. I got a feeling she definitely wanted Hober Mallow to escape. I think she wants Empire to go to Terminus, You know, I
Yeah.
think she wants him to go there. She want, you know, I don't know. I think all of that. I even popped into my mind that she might be part of Harry's plan. Like they know each other. Like, you know, she might be his sort of ace in the.
Would
You know, I'm not quite sure how that
would
would
she
work,
be a
but I
big
thought it would like.
variable in the maths because she's 11,000 years old, you know, so
Yeah.
she would need to be included for an accurate future prediction, wouldn't she?
Yeah. So I mean, it's weird because like they don't talk about her because they probably just think she's a robot. But like, it wouldn't surprise me if,
Mm.
you know, it turns out that she knew all about psychohistory because she's very intelligent,
Yeah, you're
and
right.
she
Yeah.
was like, "Yeah, this is going to work." And basically, what Harry Seldon is saying is correct, and we
Mm.
do need to. Empire is going to fall, and we do need to have some alternate thing. And she's going along with it, whether she's going along with it because she just thinks it's a good idea, or whether she's going along with it because she's in league with Harry. I don't know if any of that's true. It's possible.
I don't know.
Um,
Don't know. Yeah,
I don't know. You
I
know,
know that.
I hope it's more to it than just like I don't want to be a slave anymore to these horrible men. Do you know what I mean? I hope
Yeah.
it's not that. I
Um.
mean, not that she would say it like that.
No. I mean, Cleon the First made a point of stating that the Dusk was Cleon the 16th. So I don't know if this has already been pre-guessed. Do you know what I mean? Because
Maybe.
they made
Yeah,
a
that's
point of
interesting.
saying
But,
that. So
yeah, but
what I'm
he's
going to do is
yeah,
I'm
that's
going to
true.
go back and watch season 1 again because
Christ, really?
because the little
10 hours
boy.
worth.
The little boy who spoke to Demerzel when they were at that big execution thing said, "Is this how it is always? We always make
Yeah.
this decision to murder a bunch of people?" And she said, "Yeah." So I don't know if that little boy was the 16th. I want to check. I want to check to see if
But I think we knew that this slot with the 16th, I think they referred to that before. But whether he knew he was the 16th because he can just recognise him, because he's not
Yeah, I
just a
don't know.
recording, is he? He's like an artificial intelligence sort of thing. Or
Yeah.
whether it was programmed that it would be the 16th, that the ones that they fuck with. You know, it could
Yeah.
be that. Wasn't really, yeah. We don't know. We will find out, I expect. So
Yeah.
basically, it's all going to be okay. There was something interesting that I sorry, it just popped up saying disconnected there, but I think it seems to be working. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all right.
There was something interesting when Salvor says Harry's in the traveled through the Radiant and he's helping her out. She says to him, "Oh, Hober Mallow, he's gonna," and he's like,
Right.
"Don't
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
tell me this."
Yeah.
And then she goes, "Well, it's up to you if you use the information, but apparently this Hober Mallow guy is going to play an important part." And then he goes back and he's like, he doesn't want to sit and do nothing. So then he writes Hober Mallow on the vault, which is like what has already happened. So there's a kind of time differential there.
Well, we noticed that. Yeah, it's 1 minute out, a day in, or something like that. So time in the vault goes faster than time outside.
Yeah, but him putting the note up saying Hober Mallow, bring
Yeah.
me Hober Mallow, already happened. It
Yeah.
already happened, because like she said, Hober Mallow's already the thing. But Harry, according from Harry's point of view, he hadn't
Yeah.
even, I hadn't even asked for him.
Yeah, but
So,
from his perspective, Salva turned up first, and the other people turned up later.
what other people? But
The Constance and I don't know. Anyway, yeah, it's a bit mind bending.
Yeah, I mean,
but
like,
there's a time differential.
Yeah, but everything going outside is like going. The point is like it's already happened in Salvor's thing, in Salvor's time.
Yeah,
but it hasn't happened in Harry's time.
Yeah,
so it's like Harry's like I didn't quite understand that.
Because time goes slower inside the vault than it does on the outside.
Yeah, but it doesn't go backwards.
No,
it goes slower.
Yeah.
So I'm not quite sure how he would go, okay, if she's just told him that Hober Mallow's done this thing, and then he goes, right, I better find Hober Mallow then. Like he's already been found. So do you know what I mean? So there's the only explanation for that is that Salvor and Gale, what they've been up to is running at a different time than the rest of the episodes that we're seeing, maybe, you know? But at the moment, we see them as all concurrent, but I don't think they are. Because that didn't make sense.
They are. Yeah, I don't think they are. Because,
I
he
noticed
that.
He wouldn't have been able to send a message into the past, it doesn't look like. I mean, you're still going forward in time. It's just going a lot slower. That was interesting, that was quite a big deal, really. But I didn't quite,
It is a big deal. I'm going to have to watch it again. But I just wanted to point out, guess who directed this episode?
I don't know.
Roxann Dawson, B'Elanna from Star Trek.
Really?
Yeah, she's been doing loads of directing. She's fucking brilliant. So I'm really proud of her, because this was a great, one of the best episodes in the whole Foundation series, as far as I'm concerned. She did, and she's also an executive producer of it as well. But that doesn't mean that to me is like whatever. Do you know what I mean? You could have
free money in it.
Probably, yeah. I mean, I don't get what producers do, but like, she's an executive producer, and she directed this, and she did a fucking great job. Brilliant, absolutely.
Yeah, I didn't know that, because I don't know anything about the people behind this show, and I'm kind of glad, because in most other shows that whole thing just overshadows everything. You know, we haven't seen loads of interviews with the makers of it. Well, I haven't really looked. But, in a way it's good, because they just seem to be like very focused on the story. It's not about us. Whereas in a lot of other awful shows, you see more screen time with the directors and the producers and shit than you do the actual show. Case in point, Ahsoka.
Yeah, I mean, they threw. I'm not even going to bother with that. They threw in quite a bit of like a lot of symbols as well. Like at one point, Day was eating an apple. Like I don't know if that was an Adam and Eve symbology sort of thing, because he even says pithy as well at the same time. So I don't know if that was something.
Maybe that was just a joke. Yeah.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Do apples have pith, though?
Pith, yeah. Oh, I'm going with it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. They put so much in it that you don't know what's important. That's brilliant. It's so good. But you're going to have to go soon, aren't you? Because you've got stuff on today.
I'm all right for a bit, but I mean, that's probably mostly it. So I thought it was really, really good. So I think what's going to happen next is that everything's happening on Terminus now. The fleet is at Terminus. I don't know. I mean, I'm still weirded about this time thing, because if Harry's only just called for Hober Mallow, then what's going on Terminus? Do you know what I mean? But it's
a bit weird. The timeline's a bit fucked up. But like you say, we'll find out next time. But what I'm really looking forward to seeing is what Rue and Dusk find out in that room.
Yeah.
Obviously, Salvor will probably save the day with Gale, but I'm hoping that Gale will get a bit of agency and just maybe throw that woman out of her head and fuck her up.
Yeah,
maybe.
Fucking big mistake, and they get away and go, do you know what? I wish we'd never come here. Harry got killed. We all almost just fucked up everything there.
Yeah.
Like, what was the point of that?
Yeah, they couldn't have gone to a worse planet. Yeah.
I don't know. It may very well be that Gale will steal the other woman's. Maybe Gale's stronger and she'll steal her powers. I don't know. I hope not. I hope she just dies, frankly. So I don't know, but it's all going to happen on Terminus now, really, because that's where everyone's gone. Obviously, Dusk and that's still on Trantor, but like everyone else is, and Ignis. I don't know what I'm talking about, really. But there's going to be some kind of showdown. Either Terminus is going to get obliterated, or there's going to be a reason why they don't. Like something important. Who's going to stop them? I don't know. Who knows? But again, yeah, it's still keeping me guessing the whole way through. But yeah, it was a really good episode. They were all really, really good.
I'm going to watch it again.
You know, despite extramarital sex, you know, despite that, I'm still going to continue to watch it.
It's just not convincing.
I am joking.
Yeah,
I am joking.
I'm just not convincing at all.
Yeah. I'm just trying to see if someone gets offended. You know, it's just an experiment.
Yeah. All right.
Really. Yeah. Just for fun. But yeah, so I really enjoyed it. We've got 2 episodes left. I was sort of worried that there was going to be 2 less episodes on this season, but there isn't. There's still 2 more. So
yeah, there's 10. Yeah, I looked that up.
Loads going on.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. It's perfect. I thought the last episode was perfect. I loved it. Yeah.
This season's been great, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always a bit dodgy when you get a second season. It might go a bit, but no, it's fucking brilliant.
It's
Love
been really,
it.
really good. Yeah.
Anyway,
it's really cool.
Leave it there. Yeah.
Well, I suppose that's it then. Yeah. So we'll do the same thing again next time. And hopefully see what the hell's going on.
Yeah. So thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, liking, comments. Comments are always good. So nice to speak to other people around the world and stuff. It's great. We got a Canadian last week. Yeah. We have a few from the USA. Yeah. So it's all good. Yeah, lovely.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Keep
see
it up.
you later.
Tell us what you think. Yeah.
Yeah,
see you later,
absolutely.
then.
Yeah. See, bye.
Yes, bye.